Now, lots of technology going on for you this morning, and Julia Hardy, who knows everything there is to know, is here. You've been doing some research, haven't you, about disability and wheelchairs and all this sort of technology involved in that, which we'll talk to you about in just a moment. But first, let's talk glitch, should we, in the internet? The internet's been breaking.
A little bit of a wobble. I was trying to think of the easiest way of explaining this, because even I find some of this stuff a little bit complicated. So when a lot of computer systems were kind of put into place, they had to pick kind of arbitrary numbers and limits for stuff like that. So in terms of IP addresses, which is where you are on your computer, I think it's something like 4.2 billion they decided that'll be enough. Bearing in mind we're about 4 billion now. Yeah. We're kind of running out a little bit. Yeah. And also there's basically it's kind of like the RAC route planner of what the internet is. It's basically a list of, if you want to get from A to B, how you get there. And it's effectively like a finite list of all of these different routes that you can go. And this is also limited in that there's something like, I think it's 412,000. And it's to groups of IP addresses, so different places. And so this is running out now as well. And basically what Verizon had done, they were trying to make new locations for these groups of IP addresses, and basically added like 15,000 new ones on at one go, which if you imagine out of over about 400,000, that's quite a lot. It's like adding a whole load of new towns to your RAC route plan, and then all of a sudden it was like, okay, is it near Birmingham? I think so. So this is what happened. It added on quite a lot very, very quickly. Older machines obviously conked out a little bit. The problem is that the internet, it started very, very, small. It's grown organically, and what normally happens is they just kind of put out fires and patch things as and when, because you can't really just kind of switch it off and turn it on and off again, which is sort of kind of what they might have to do with bits of it to maybe restart and update things. So, yeah.
There'll be lots of experts working out how to do that. And what's interesting, because a lot of stuff is still driven by cable and fibre optic cable and what have you now, and which is... You don't think about it all going under the sea and what have you to supply various countries.
Lo-fi, right?
But Google's got an issue with sharks and their cabling.
I don't know if it's like maybe they've trained them, in Austin Powers, a rival company to go and attack them. No. Well, basically because the distances that the optical fibre has to travel, they have to send electricity there to kind of amplify the signal. So obviously the sharks are possibly picking up on. I mean, they're supposed to be covered so that nothing kind of gets out and But obviously these sharks are picking up on some of these signals because obviously they use electrical impulses to hunt. But I was thinking, isn't it Discovery Shark Week this week on Discovery Channel? So maybe they're just really annoyed because they've just been harassed by a load of scientists for 6 months, so they're just acting up.
Could be a fair point. Let's talk technology and disability.
Yes.
Because for people who are disabled, there is some incredible technology which we're on the sort of verge of getting into real life, aren't we?
Yes, well, we are. We're here. There's an incredible charity called Special Effect, who've been around since about 2007, and their entire MO is about kind of levelling the playing field for people with disabilities. So whether that's with video games or with technology, some of the stuff, they basically go and assess people with disabilities, because obviously everyone has slightly different issues or different desires and needs that they want to meet. And then they provide them and loan them with kits. So a lot of it can be kind of eye gaze technology, so you can control a computer just with the power of your eyes. So you could, stay in touch with friends, go on Facebook, go on Skype. It's absolutely incredible stuff, fascinating stuff as well. Oh yeah, there was this one guy called Lee who, this guy here, he basically, all he wanted to do was to play Grand Theft Auto 5. So he uses these analog sticks with his chin, and then he has buttons on his hand, and he's completed the game. This was his goal to do it, and he's completed. I haven't even completed Grand Theft Auto 5 yet. It's a really big game. It's amazing.
It's incredibly inclusive, isn't it? Look, we're almost. I hate to say it, we're almost out of time. Could you briefly tell us about this exoskeleton as well?
Okay, so there's other new stuff, which is they've built a motorised exoskeleton, so people who can't walk, who are paralysed, from the waist down, can effectively go out and walk. There's lots of there's business applications also as well. So for example, if you worked in the docks or something and you wanted to lift something quite heavy, it's a bit like the alien power loader that Sigourney Weaver uses in the Alien films a bit. You can lift up all these heavy weights, but it's incredible.
That's blending human and machine, isn't it? Almost?
It's incredible. With smart technology for your home, you could basically effectively control your entire house, but using kind of eye gaze technology, or even using the power of your mind. Do you remember that 47 Ronin thing we did with the EEG?
Yeah.
Same principle. If you can make an app for it on your smartphone, you can connect and control it. So I mean, it's all about people feeling like they don't have to rely on someone if they're bedridden, stuff like that.
And it's interesting as well because it also changes our view of being able-bodied or disabled, doesn't it, when you can still do all the same stuff?
Well, this is it, and one of the most important things about gaming is basically it means that they can compete at the same level as everybody else, so they're not treated any differently.
Love it. Julia, thank you very much indeed. Stay with us.